So we've been talking about ways that we can manage our stress, and we've been using our cognitive triad. And now what we're going to do is switch to ways that we can act differently to regulate our stress better. And one of the cool biological ways we can act differently to hack our fight or flight system is to use our breath. Our breath can actually help us de-stress and feel better. I'm sure you've all heard the phrase, just breathe. Sometimes this feels pretty pejorative when you're really freaking out about something, and somebody's like, just breathe. And you're like, just breathe, I want to strangle you, my fight or flight is active, and so on. But these folks, while they're maybe not saying it in the best way, are coming from the right place physiologically. Because if we go back to our autonomic nervous system, which you just learned about, remember the sympathetic fight or flight part, that's kind of the gas pedal, the parasympathetic calming part, you'll notice that one of the things the parasympathetic system does when it's activated normally is to let your breath slow down. When the threat has gone away, you can calm down and sort of relax. The cool thing is that even though overall the autonomic nervous system is an involuntary system, we can't hack it, this, it turns out, slow, deep breaths is one way that we can control. They'll happen naturally through the course of your day. If you're stressed or not, you might be breathing slower or less slow. Hopefully this lecture is really relaxing you, so you have natural slow breath, right? But you can make a conscious decision right now to say, I'm gonna have a slow breath. We could try it all together. So slowly, deep breath in, fill your lungs with air, and big belly breath, expand your abdomen. And then exhale, contract it. Take a moment to just notice one breath, how differently a little bit you feel than like 2 seconds ago, right? That's the power of a conscious breath. You're literally jumping back and hacking into that parasympathetic system. And it works because, let's say there was like a tiger attacking you and you were literally fleeing from a tiger. You couldn't at that point, even if you wanted to, be like, I'm gonna take a deep conscious breath like I just did. When you force your body to do that, your body's not stupid. Your body's like, hang on, if we're taking a deep conscious, like really slow breath, there's no real threat. Like activate parasympathetic nervous system, right? Like just, the threat's gone, try it out, right? It is a hack that you can do voluntarily that literally turns on your parasympathetic nervous system, right? So you're forcibly getting your body out of fight or flight mode. It takes intention, you have to remember to do it. It doesn't always feel great when you're in that anxious moment, but it can be incredibly powerful. And if you put mindful breathing into practice, there's also lots of studies that show it can make us feel less anxious when it really counts. Here's one in our college students at the time of exams. Exams can obviously feel really stressful, right? Very scary. Researchers take college students and either have them in a control condition where they learn other kinds of strategies for not worrying about tests versus a mindful breathing condition where they're taught, hey, when you feel like your fight or flight is active, just do a couple mindful breaths, just like we just talked about, right? And then they measure how students are feeling when they go into their tests and also the performance they do later. And so I'm gonna nerd out and show you a graph here. This is students' self-reported anxiety. So bigger bars are more anxiety before and after they learn this. And this is when they're in the test, right? So before the test, all the students are kind of experiencing lots of anxiety, but the ones who learn the breath-based control wind up dropping in their anxiety more versus the control who, again, learn these sort of other strategies for sort of feeling a little bit better. That's the level of anxiety, but even if you look at things like their level of positive thoughts about how this kind of test is gonna go, so are you really thinking you're gonna nail this thing? Now you see even bigger effects, right? Where again, you're able to kind of just think a little bit clearly, bring some optimism, bring some positivity to the thing, and all you did was change your breath around. So when we see these kind of cheesy memes of just breathe, or someone tells you just breathe, yes, it can be a little bit annoying, but it's the one way we have to voluntarily hack into our parasympathetic nervous system, to turn it on so we can go back to all that stuff, digestion, relaxing, and so on. So a powerful strategy to act differently and use your breath.